to something similar to that, which is supplementary angles. What are supplementary angles, you say? Supplementary angles are, whoops, let me erase this. Someone was saying something. Oops, hold on. Oh, so someone just typed it. Okay. Supplementary angles are two angles with the measurement sum of 180 degrees. Okay. Here, once again, it's really important to read the givens. That is your key. Given here, angle 4 and angle 5 are supplementary angles. What supplementary angles means? That means they equal to the value of 180 when the two angles are added. Here you have the value of angle 4, which is 130, angle 5, which has the value of x, and we need to find the value of angle 5. Hold on. Oops. Okay. So now we write down the equation. When we add angle 4, or we can just do this. When we add angle 4 and the adjacent angle of angle 5, we know that the total will equal a straight angle. See a straight angle here? And we know the straight angle will equal 180. Okay. Next step is solve this. We substitute the value of angle 4 with 130. And then the value of 5, which is x. And we know that when we add angle 4 and angle 5 together, we know that they are supplementary angles. So that gives us the information that when they are both added, they equal the value of 180. So I'm just explaining how I'm getting all those values. I'm not just randomly putting it there. It's all of it has a purpose. Okay. So here, what I do is, since 130 and 180 are in both different expressions, then I have to cancel out 130 with the opposite of a positive 130, because in between 130 and x is a plus sign. So I have to use addition or subtraction to get rid of 130 as well. Minus 130 on both sides. And then this will cancel out to 0. 180 minus 130 is 50. X equals 50. Okay. Now we gotta double check our work. Does x really equal 50? Once again, we're gonna go back to our equation. 40 plus angle 4 plus angle 5 equals 180. We substitute the value of angle 4, which is 130. Angle 5, which is 50. And it will equal the value of 180. When we add these two together, it will equal 180, and it balances out with the equation. So we know that balance out, then we know that our answer for x equals 50 degrees is correct. Okay. Or not x, but we know that the measurement angle 5 will equal 50 degrees. So just like stating it, right? We're going back to the question that's really being asked. And that is one example. Now we're going to go to our next example here. Kind of similar, kind of not, right? Here, once again, if I'm just looking at this, a lot of students are going to get confused. Maybe some students are really are kind of bright in this geometric already, so they kind of know what to do. But once again, if you don't know what to do, then you have to kind of read the givens, right? Or ask the question that's being asked. Angle KPL, angle KPL, and JPL. Oops. Angle JPL are a linear pair. What does a linear pair mean? That just means that they are also supplementary. If they're supplementary, then they equal to 180 degrees. Why is it called a linear pair, though? Right? We'll learn more later on. What's the difference between linear pair and supplementary? I just don't want to go too in depth and just confuse you more. Not confuse you more, but explain too much to the point where you're confused. Okay? So the reason why it's a linear pair is because a linear, you're talking about the line here. If we're talking about a line, then we're talking about like an infinite line that goes to both sides. But if you see the word pair, where does the pair focus on? The pair is talking about the angle pair, right? Linear pair, two angles that will form two angles that will be forming a line. The two angles we're talking about is KPL and LPJ. And what is the value of an angle of a straight angle? It equals to 180 degrees. Or you can just remember this fact that a linear pair is also supplementary and equals to 180. It's really how you want to create a pattern for yourself, right? There's so many reasons. Just pick one that will suit you. Then we already created that statement. We said that KPL plus JPL are a linear pair. That means that the supplementary are going to equal to 180 degrees. That's our statement, right? What we're going to do is we're going to substitute the value of JPL with 2x plus 24. And we're going to substitute the value of KPL with the value of 4x plus 36. And it will equal the value of 180. We just dropped it down. Notice that there's no angle here, but I'm just trying to simplify it. I do not want to write angles every time. I just want to start focusing on the values that are given. Here, what I did is I found a like term. My like term I found was 2x and 4x. 2x plus 4x equals 6x. Okay. Then I just dropped down 24 and I dropped down 36 and I dropped down 180. I don't want to be adding or subtracting too much, and I'll start getting confused. That's why I kind of did that. Next, I added 24 and 36. Why am I not minusing them from each other? Because they are in the same expression. Whenever they're in the same expression, I do not have to cancel them with the opposite inverse. Okay, so all I have to do is just add 24 and 36. That will equal to 60. Drop down 180, drop down 6x. Then I know 60 and 180 are like terms. Once again, now I'm looking at these two expressions. They're not in the same expression. 60 is on the left side of the equation's expression, and 180 is on the right side of the expression. So I have to cancel out 60 with the opposite of a plus addition with subtraction of 60 on both expressions. 60 minus 60 is 0. I do not have to write 0 because that's kind of unnecessary. 180 minus 60 is 120. I drop down to 6x. And then cancel out the 6 from x. There's always a multiplication between 6, a variable, and the number that's next to it. So I cancel out multiplication with the inverse, which is division of 6 on both sides of the equation. 6 divided by 6 is 1x. You don't have to write down 1 because that's kind of redundant. You don't have to do unnecessary things. And 120 divided by 6 is 20. Don't forget to double check your work. When you found out x equals 20, I put back the equation of JPL, which it's a value. I substitute the value of x is 20. 2 times 20 is 40. 24, and I add 24 with 40, and I'll equal to 64. KPL is 80. How do I get 80? I multiply 4 times 20. 4 times 20 is 80, and I just added 36 to that as well. 80 plus 36, that'll equal to 116. When I add that together, 64 plus 116, that will create a total of 180 degrees. Okay. So this checks out that when you add these two together, it will equal to the linear pair value, which is 180. Then you know that x equals 20 is the correct value that you're trying to look for. Okay, and that is it for